this afternoon, the Trades Union Congress and the Public Utility Workers Union of Ghana are demanding an immediate suspension of all private sector involvement in the operations of the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCo. The unions argue that the sharp rise in revenue at ECG and the reduction in losses at NEDCo prove the utilities can be turned around without privatization if workers are fully supported and management is given clear and forcible targets. My colleague Collins Frempong has more in the following report.
Solidarity forever for the youth.
At a press conference at the Trade Union Congress, TUC General Secretary Joshua Ansah said ECG's average monthly revenue has surged from about 900 million Ghana cedis to nearly 1.7 billion Ghana cedis, a rise of almost 90% in just 6 months. He added that NEDCo has also cut its losses by around 8%, despite most of its customers being on lifeline tariffs, showing that the utilities can be successfully turned around without private sector participation.
Following extensive tripartite engagements involving the Public Utility Workers Union, PUWU, representing staff of ECG, management of ECG, and the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, a 6-month turnaround program was agreed upon and implemented from July to December 2025. The result of the turnaround program has been phenomenal. Verified performance data from this turnaround program indicate that ECG's average monthly revenue collection increased from approximately 900 million Ghana cedis to a record of 1.75 billion. Now, the turnaround program by NEDCo. The Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCo, has faced significant challenges related to high distribution losses and inadequate revenue collection over the years. The northern area, particularly Tamale Township, records exceptionally high distribution losses, averaging about 46%. In the last 1 year, this exceptionally high distribution losses have been slashed from 47.32% in November 2024 to 39% in November 2025.
The unions noted that these gains have already brought significant sector-wide benefits, including more regular payment to power producers and improved stability in electricity supply, reducing the repeated threats by independent power producers to shut down plants over debts.
This remarkable improvement in revenue collection has ensured that power generators are now paid regularly, avoiding instances where independent power producers threaten or actually shut down their production plants in projects of unpaid arrears for the benefit of Ghanaians.
Calling for an immediate halt to all privatization plans, the TUC and PUWU urged an extension of the current turnaround program with clearer deliverables for management and stronger oversight from state regulators.
The 6 months management union turnaround program must be extended and reviewed comprehensively to determine additional measures needed to scale and sustain the success made so far. Thank you. 2, while the review of the turnaround program is underway, we urge government to halt all actions toward privatization of ECG and NEDCo. 3, in keeping with TUC's long-standing opposition to privatization of state-owned enterprises, we propose the following additional measures. A stakeholder board for ECG and NEDCo that brings the insight and expertise of the major think tanks and social groups, including labor, and this will provide the necessary checks and balances for efficiency. B, the MDs of ECG and NEDCo should be given clear deliverables and be held to straight account on those deliverables.
Reporting for JoyNews, I am Collins Frimpong.
Thankfully, I have a member from government, Richmond Roxon. He is with the Energy Ministry. His spokesperson for the ministry. He joins the conversation live here on The Pulse. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. You've heard the concerns of PUWU and TUC. They insist that the utilities are already on the path to recovery, and so they want government to pull the brakes on the privatization of ECG and NEDCo. What's your thoughts on their position? Will their concerns be adhered to?
Good evening good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your cherished listeners. First and foremost, let me state categorically that the government does not intend to sell ECG. The government does not intend to privatize ECG. And I don't want to believe it's a deliberate attempt to push that narrative out there. Because what Cabinet approved last year, April, was that we're going to have private sector participation in some aspect of ECG operations, and that is what has been. And so any attempt to deliberately mislead the public or misrepresent facts will not be fair and will be in bad faith. The Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, which has been at the heart of the discussions with PUWU and TUC, has always been very, very accommodating and has always been engaging. If you ask PUWU themselves, at every point in time, the ministry has engaged them on the processes, on this PSP process. And so what we would state is that they should come back to the table. We'll be making attempts to meet them. The minister has been making attempts to meet PUWU and PUC to have the discussion as it's been over the period. But all attempts have failed, and so they should just get back to the table. Government has noted their concern. The government has stated, as was said 6 months ago, that the interest of the energy sector is what we are looking at. At the end of the day, they've been guaranteed that there won't be job losses, that jobs will be protected. And so if they have further concerns, it's only fair that they come back to the table to speak or engage the minister as it's been, so that if there are any outstanding issues, those issues may be resolved.
You say you've been trying to reach TUC and PUWU leadership, but you've been unsuccessful. Who exactly did you reach out to, and what impediments have you faced so far?
Oh, I don't want to mention names, but they know that we have a good engagement over the period. Some of them I have spoken to personally, and they will attest to the fact that we've had engagement. And so, like I mentioned, we don't have to belittle the point. The most important thing is that they should make themselves available, come back to the table. The minister has resumed work fully. He did that yesterday after a short leave, which was granted by His Excellency. And so we should get back to the table and engage. What is important is how we are going to make sure that the sector works, ECG works, and as we've been engaging over the period, if there are any concerns, as usual, the minister will listen to it and address it accordingly.
Thank you so much, Richmond Roxon, his spokesperson for the Energy Ministry.